Welcome everybody to today's session. We will focus on diversity management in Turkey, where our guest speaker will enlighten us with some really good information from her personal experiences of living in the culture and also from her research. And you'll have an opportunity to ask questions towards the end. In this class, we talk about true professionals, true leaders, and true teammates in a diverse work environment. The fact that they can tolerate differences in any culture, any environment, respect differences, especially when we do not understand them, and understand the environment, the mission, the vision, and the objectives of the department, then execute according to those values that are common to the team, to the department, and that everybody shares. So that is the essence of true team leaders, true professionals in a diverse workforce. And we also talked about an inclusive culture tends to exist where members of the group can be heterogeneous, and together they actually create a distinctive competitive advantage through teamwork and their personal knowledge that they bring through diversity that's unique to them. And culture obviously is one of those important dimensions of diversity nationally as well as internationally. And many of you are working currently or will be working in the recent or the near future for multinational corporations. So diversity is a local and national and international management concept being researched and discussed by scholars everywhere. Many of the researchers and leaders across the globe are role models of effectively managing diversity and inclusion practices, not only in their departments, but as consultants, as coaches, as mentors, helping others to reach an inclusive workplace or team. So Turkey is a country with very diverse ethnicities and thousands of years of history, in tradition, in different languages, in different religions. So that is an important element for all of us to learn how Turkey has managed for hundreds and thousands of years to allow different people groups and religions to mix and work together synergistically in each department or each organization. So the Republic of Turkey, or Turkiya, with a diverse population of around 85 million people, is a transcontinental country that is located near the Western Asia. We consider them, it's a small portion in the Balkan Peninsula or southeast of Europe. So our guest speaker is Dr. Pelin Vardarlıer. She will discuss diversity management in Turkey. So you'll learn a little bit about inclusion, diversity management topics in the Turkish culture. You'll learn a little bit about maybe ethnic or diversity or gender issues. And you can ask any questions from her as well that might be of interest to you in your current research or even future endeavors. So let me give you a short biography of Dr. Pelin. She is currently Associate Professor of Business and Management Sciences in Istanbul Medipol University, Department of Human Resource Management. She graduated with a master's degree in business administration and completed her PhD in the fields of management and strategy. She's worked in various management positions, including TQM or total quality management, and also in human resources for over 10 years in the real and world environment. She's also a very well-established academician because she's published several books and many journal articles in the fields of human resource management, digital marketing, and social media. She currently teaches courses about coaching, about strategic leadership and human resource topics on a regular basis at her university and also as guest lecturer around the globe. Since 2015, actually, she's been the head of the human resource department at her university. She's actively involved in social responsibility types of projects and works with her students on a regular basis on these projects in the community. She also actually mentors female entrepreneurs to help them become more successful and better leaders in each community where they work. So I'm really, really proud and very thankful to have Dr. Pelin here. I want to thank her to be our guest speaker today. And I'm going to turn it over to her so we can all hear her insights. Dr. Pelin, it's all yours now.
Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. Today, I will talk about diversity management in Turkey. First of all, I want to thank Professor Bahaudin Mujtaba for inviting me. I'm so happy to be here. And in the presentation, we will discuss diversity in my home country, Turkey, and specifically the culture and people group and gender in both social life and work life together. And as an HR professional, I enjoy being able to help people fulfill their potential by hiring the right people and then helping them through in their jobs. HR allows me to express my personality every day. So I love HR, I love my job. Anyone knows who this person is, and then Mustafa Kemal Atatürk. He is the founder and first president of Republic of Turkey. During his presidency from 1923 until his death in 1938, he implemented many reforms that rapidly secularized and westernized the country. And he said that Turkey is secular and will remain secular. So secularism does not mean the separation of religion and world affairs alone. All citizens have freedom of conscience, worship, and the religion. And Mustafa Kemal Atatürk modernized the country's legal and educational system and encouraged the adoption of a European way of life, with Turkish written in the Latin alphabet and with citizens adopting European style names. So Atatürk reforms were a series of political, legal, religious, cultural, social, and economic policy change designed to convert the new Republic of Turkey into a secular. Now I want to mention one of them, the reform. For example, the political reforms. You can see that the abolition of the Sultanate, and the other one is the proclamation of the Republic and the abolition of Caliphate. So this is about the political reform, and the other one is the social reform, so equal rights for women. And from 1926 to 1934, the government took many action in order to provide the equal treatment for men and women. And these actions include the right to elect and to be elected, the right to be appointed to the official duties, the monogamy law, and so on. And the other thing is the introduction of the modern clothes. So Mustafa Kemal Atatürk introduced modern clothes such as hats and wanted people to stop wearing the likes of fez and veil, and in order to give the nation a modern outlook. And the educational and cultural reforms, the unification of the education, and the other one is the adaptation of the Latin alphabet, and the other one is the establishment of the Turkish language and historical societies, and the regulation of the university education. For example, the university reform took place in order to have a modern higher education system. And now, from the foreign perspective, Turkish culture is often misrepresented. So today, let's look at some of these misconceptions along with Turkish culture as a whole, because it is so rich in history and cultural diversity. Now we can look at the map, the Turkey map. So Turkey is situated at the meeting point of Southeastern Europe and Southwestern Asia. And geographically, the west of Bosphorus lies in the Europe, and the Turkey is surrounded by the Black Sea and Aegean Sea and Mediterranean. It is bordered in Bulgaria, and then to the northwest, and Greece to the west, and Georgia to the northeast, Armenia, Iran and Nakhchivan, and Iraq and Syria to the southeast. And Turkey is a bridge between Asia and Europe, not only in terms of geographical location, but also in cultural, social, and political aspects. And the geography of the region definitely plays a critical role in the development of the local culture. For example, Black Sea region might remind you of Switzerland or Austria. And while the Southeast might be similar to myriad of Middle Eastern countries. So we can say that Turkish culture is influenced by Greeks, Arabs, Persians, Armenians, Georgians, and Kurds. And the role of the Ottoman Empire in this influence cannot be denied because the Ottoman Empire encouraged the active exchange of the culture, consolidate its people and strengthen the empire as a whole. So it was one of the world's oldest and greatest meeting points, a true blending of Eastern and Western civilization. As you will see, the cuisine and music and accent, also traditions and customs, all depends on geography, and in all regions of Turkey, we see this uniquely blended culture. And in this section of the presentation, we will discuss diversity in social life. So, what cultural group is Turkey? When we ask this question, Turkey population is about 86 million, and Turkey is a largely ethnically homogeneous. In addition to Turks, there are minority groups who originate from Caucasus and the Balkans, Kurds, Arabs, Armenians, and Greeks. And Turkey is a land of vast ethnic, linguistic, and religious diversity. There is no hostility or discrimination towards people of different ethnic backgrounds. So Turkish is spoken by 87% of the population and is written with the Latin alphabet. Body language and the use of the gesture is widespread in Turkey and often conveys as much, if not more, expression than speech. And English, one of the most common foreign language spoken, followed by French and German. It is estimated that 99.8% of the Turkish population are Muslim, with the remaining 0.2% made up of Christian and Jews. And gender roles, traditionally, men are providing the main source of household income. They are often exempt from most domestic duties, and women are generally seen as managing budgets, cooking, cleaning, and hosting. However, during the last 2 decades, it's observed that gender roles are changing in a way that men and women share the same responsibility in life. And, now we can talk about the food and music. And Turkish cuisine is largely based on Ottoman cuisine. It can be described as the fusion of the Mediterranean, Middle Eastern, Baltic, Central Asian, and other neighboring regions. In turn, it has also influenced the other regions in Eastern and Southern Europe. Food like yogurt, kebab, Turkish kebab, and baklava is one of the many disputes cultural items to which many regions lay claim. And the other thing is, we are the famous of the Turkish cafe. And we see the same diversity in music culture as well. So in this session of the presentation, we will review diversity at workplace in Turkey. So the business setup in Turkey is very formal and cross-cultural. So the Turkish management style is hierarchical and tends to be more autocratic than the Western style of leadership. Inclusive leadership is the core of the diversity culture, equality, and inclusions. And leaders must demonstrate the values and behaviors they want everyone to adapt. And prioritizing diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging in workplace help organizations attract and retain talent. More than ever, prospective employees want to work for companies that welcome diversity and adopt DEIB as their core value. Now let's take a look at the meaning of each term to see how adapting DEIB helps incorporated in Turkey. So diversity, this is when people from all different backgrounds come together. It includes people of different race, genders, religious beliefs, sexual orientation, visible and invisible disabilities, class, or status. And the other thing is equity and inclusion. Providing equal treatment or resources doesn't necessarily deliver equally matching results. Celebrating diversity requires thoughtful inclusion. Everyone must be recognized and appreciated for their talents, be provided with opportunities to get involved and have their perspectives valued and heard. Belonging, a sense of belonging ties diversity, equity, and inclusion together. So we can say that each group member feels respected, valued, and cherished while being their authentic self in a shared community, and DEIB ensure that. Now, foreign managers will gain an understanding of a number of key cross-culture areas when working in Turkey, and the hierarchy, leadership style, time and scheduling, communication style, and negotiation style. So if we want to give an example, we can talk about time and scheduling. Deadlines and time scale are fluid in Turkey, and the patience will play an essential part in successful cross-culture management. And the other thing is, for example, the communication style and negotiation style. So personal relationships are the foundation for a successful business relationship, and there will be a great deal of a small talk before getting down to business discussion. So patience may be necessary cross-culture attributes. Never appear impatient or attempt to rush a talk to make a decision. So this is another important thing maybe we can say. And Turkey intercultural adaptability and readiness for change is apparent, although changes are still made slowly, requiring a considerable amount of thought, planning, and evaluation. For many organizations, becoming more inclusive requires a significant change, which requires leaders who are agile, creative, and emotionally centered. And lastly, in this session, I would like to share some recommendations for the future leaders as they attempt to create a diverse and productive workplace. Firstly, emotional intelligence, including self-awareness of biases and triggers and understanding how to mitigate them. And the other one is empathy and listening and understanding the others, and leading during disruption, or coaching and mentoring together, and perseverance and resilience, building trust, collaborating inclusively, and providing constructive feedback, and managing change. And also, the best management and leadership practice for managing of a diverse workforce include, for instance, we can say the communication. First of all, communication is so important. Clear and effective communication is essential for managing a diverse workforce. So leaders should ensure that all employees understand the company mission, vision, values, and goals. And the other thing is cultural sensitivity. So leaders should be aware of and sensitive to their employees and cultural backgrounds and perspectives, And this includes understanding and respecting different communication. So this includes understanding and respecting. And the other thing is inclusions. Leaders should create an inclusive work environment where all employees feel valued, respected, and included. So this can be achieved by providing opportunities to the employee involvement and input, and recognizing and rewarding the contribution of all employees. And the other thing, flexibility. So we can say that the leaders should be flexible and adaptable in their management style to accommodate the needs of a diverse workforce. So this includes being open to different ways of working and being willing to make adjustments to accommodate employees' culture, religious, or personal needs. And the other thing is training. Leaders should provide training to all employees on diversity and inclusion topics such as cultural awareness and sensitivity. And the other thing is support. Leaders should provide support and resources for employees to help them adjust to working in a different culture and country, such as language classes, cultural orientation programs, and mentoring. So it is worth nothing that being respectful or understanding the laws, the regulation in the country where the company operates is also important to ensure compliance and avoid any legal issues. In the future, leaders in creating a diverse workforce will likely be those who not only focus on increasing the representation of underrepresented groups within their own organization, but also work to create more inclusive and equitable industry-wide systems and practices. This may include investing in diversity and inclusion in activities outside of their own organization, such as supporting organizations that promote diversity in education and technology, and advocating for policy change that promote diversity and inclusion. In my opinion, diversity management in Turkey is relatively new concept and it's still developing. However, in recent years, there have been efforts to promote diversity and inclusion in the workplace. The Turkish government has implemented some measures to support diversity and inclusion, such as implementing quotas for women in leadership positions and promoting equal opportunities for people with disabilities. However, these measures are not always fully implemented and enforcement is often weak. In the private sector, some companies have started to implement diversity and inclusion policies, but it's still not a widespread practices. So companies that have implemented such policies tend to focus on gender diversity, but there is still a lack of attention to other forms of diversity, such as culture and ethnic diversity. In general, there is a lack of awareness and understanding of the benefits of diversity management in Turkey, and it is still often seen as a compliance issue rather than a strategic business advantage. Additionally, there is a lack of training and development programs to support diversity and inclusions. Now, as I reach to the last station of my presentation, I would like to share some moments from the Medipol University, where I work as an associate professor. So you see the Medipol University campus in this picture. At our university, we have a lot of foreign students who come to Turkey from all over the world. In this slide, you see the pictures taken from the various events that took place in our university, and the faculty and students always enjoy with these events. And this picture are from our conference room with my students, and these are all students' activities. And also, this picture are from various events that I organized for my classes. in this event, the students learn from each other as they are having fun. And also, we organize some social responsibility projects for our students. And also I see this project as a great opportunity for foreign students to blend in with the culture. The picture on this slide were taken in an event where our students were taking care of street dogs and cats. And also we enjoy. Another social responsibility project that students were responsible for finding donation to purchase books for primary school. And then sometimes we arrange the spatial training programs. These programs are also opportunity for students to improve their skills. And for example, from this picture, last year students enrolled into the personal development program and they received a certificate after the completion. You see them in the picture with their certificates. And of course, sometimes we have a celebration. So, and Oscar goes to us with my students from the school. And also this is my MBA students, MBA class. And also, this is the members of the MBA class. Yes, this is the, again, and as you can see this picture and my entire presentation, Turkey is a place where the different cultures, personalities and preferences live together, study, work and produce together. And also we started this presentation with a quote from Mustafa Kemal Atatürk, and I want to end my presentation with a message from one of my foreign students. His name is Yasin. He is from Algeria, and this is his message.
So today we are going to represent a great personality which established the new nation of Turkey, Gazi Mustafa Kemal.
And I hope that each and every one of you enjoy this presentation. I want to thank you all and thank you, Professor Dr. Bahaudin Mustafa, for inviting me to your class. I enjoyed joining you all this evening. And also this is my visit to Southeastern University, and it's a beautiful campus and in a nice part of town. It's all about academician here and everyone is very nice and helpful. I honestly love it here. So you are so lucky to have the professor like Bahaudin, and also the other, my colleague is Song, and I'm so lucky to have met with you. And thank you for listening.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Pelin, for that wonderful presentation and the insights about the Turkish culture, Turkish people, Turkish students, and the learning environment, the history that obviously I learned about. I didn't know too much about Turkey. I've never been there, unfortunately, yet. I'm hoping to get there soon, one of these days at the academic conference, and learn much more, obviously, by personally visiting. So thank you for sharing the insights and also the photos of the beautiful classes and students. And more interestingly, the cross-cultural students who are traveling from all over the world to get their undergraduate or master's degrees in your campus. So I am really thankful. I'm also really thankful for Dr. Xiaochuan Song for being here from Texas. So I'm going to give him a minute or so to introduce himself and let us know what kind of class he teaches, and then we'll open it up for all the students to ask questions that they have as a result of your presentation. Dr. Song, it's all yours.
Thank you. First of all, I want to say thank you to both Dr. Mujtaba and Dr. Vardarlıer for the great presentation. I'm Dr. Song. I previously worked at the NOAA Southeastern University. I taught human resource management and employee benefits classes. And I moved to Texas A&M Kingsville last year, and I'm currently teaching the human resource management class, strategic human resource management, as well as the leadership class. My research also in the human resource management area about employee organization justice, as well as the technologies that applied to the human resource management practices. I think these days, especially when we try to do the business in today's business environment, international business, global business is almost everywhere. If we think about not just in South Florida, but also other places around the nation, in the US, in other countries around the world, we have these kind of global collaboration. We also have the collaboration. We have the team to work on the same project. Maybe some members from the US, some other members maybe from other countries in Turkey, or maybe from other countries around the world. So knowing about our team members from different places around the world, knowing about the culture, having what we call the cultural intelligence. This is very important in today's business environment. And for the organizations, the teams, the companies know about this, going to be more competitive on the global market. And this is also something we talked about. I think Dr. Mujtaba also mentioned about this, about competitive advantage. So we not just get the competitive advantage maybe for this year or maybe in the next 2 years. We're talking about the advantage for a long time, something we call the sustainable competitive advantage. So how we do that? We wanted to capitalize our human resources. We wanted to make sure our human resources from different cultural background can work together, stay on the same page, move to the same direction. That can make us to be more competitive. I think these are just something I also would like to share. That's the similar idea, just like what Dr. Vardarlıer mentioned and presented.
Thank you so much. I'm totally agree with you, your opinion. Thank you for your contribution.
Thank you so much, Dr. Song. We appreciate it. We enjoyed having you here on campus in Fort Lauderdale, South Florida. Obviously, we miss you, but we wish you great success there at Texas A&M and also with family. So we look forward to seeing you in future conferences here in South Florida.
I also have the NOAA's.
Very good, very good. That's very good. Thank you so much, Dr. Pelin. Thank you so much, Dr. Song, for coming and being our guest speakers here for the session. Dr. Pelin, we look forward to having you in a physical class in the future at Southeastern University.
I hope. Thank you. Thank you so much.
And thank you for obviously tonight's session. We appreciate it. And Dr. Song, it's good to see you, and we look forward to seeing you on campus here in the future as well.
Thank you.
Okay, good night, everybody. Take good care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.